Hello and welcome back to LTC Heroes Live by Experience Care. I'm at the Florida Healthcare Convention and I am talking to a first timer. Her name is Jennifer Swain. She's the VP of Clinical Reimbursement. Jennifer, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Jennifer, I think I know where I want to start with you, and it's about your family. It's about your history. Before we went live, you were telling me how you got into long-term care.
Yes.
Tell me, who was the inspiration, how you made how you climbed the ladder, and if you have a story that you want to share in that first year of why you ended up staying here, please do.
Sure. My mom started nursing school, and I'm a second generation nurse, and she would take me in and out of her nursing homes back in the day. And I just really took to it and volunteered and really, really enjoyed that skilled nursing life. I also volunteered in the emergency area on ambulances. So to get my RN, I worked my way up through the hospitals, being a nurse or a CNA, excuse me, before I went to nursing school. And when I was in ICU, that's when I really realized that I wanted a little bit more with my career. The feelings that I had for the people that I was working with, I wanted to be a part of their family. And my mom reminded me that that was the culture that was meant for me. And that's how I got back into long-term care after I first started. So.
Has your mom ever told you how proud she is of you and that you followed in her footsteps and you're making such an impact?
My mom had passed away shortly after I had started my career in long-term care. My father is extremely proud of me. My work ethic I actually get from him, and he's probably one of my very first mentors outside of my mom. I know that she's with me every day. From what we do in skilled nursing, we know that there's always something there. And I definitely think she's pushed this career and the opportunities in front of my path over the course of a few years.
I want to ask you to take off your humble hat for a minute.
Yeah.
And I want you to share something that you're very proud of that maybe only you and your mom know about when she's watching over you, something small that you've done that you made a big impact with a resident or a peer or a mentee that comes to mind. You're like, proud of this, and I haven't shared it a lot because I want to be humble. My mom taught me humble, but Peter's asking me to share it.
Absolutely. It was shortly after my mom had passed and I was transitioning into different roles. I worked my way up through the ranks for several years, and it was one evening, short staffed. I was a unit manager at the time, and we had a resident that was really having a tough time and was end of life. Family had just left, and I didn't want them to be home alone. I missed being with my mom when she had passed away. And that was one of the things I vowed, is I never wanted any of my people that I took care of to ever have to be alone. So I stayed with them that night and held their hand and talked to them throughout the entire thing, and remembering where my roots are and remembering why I became a nurse and spending time in that moment is what I was the most proud of, and what I think my mom was proud
Some of the background information that I got on you before you started is that you're an amazing mom.
of. Thank you.
How has long-term care affected you as a mom so that your daughter's central place and inspires you to wake up every morning?
My daughter is actually what I call the long-term care baby. I was pregnant throughout my entire pregnancy with my daughter, and the residents that I cared for fell in love with her before she was even born. So I made a decision with my activities department right after she was born. Instead of having her baptized in a traditional way, we did it in the nursing home. So core values, being a nurse and working in skilled care, it's all about empathy and compassion. And that is the one thing that I learned from long-term care. And that's what I have instilled in my daughter. And still to this day, that's her comfort level. Every holiday, she'll go into the nursing homes with me. And the empathy and the compassion that my daughter has for another person is something that I'm grateful I was able to share with her, and the big part of why I just love being a mom.
How old is she?
She's 16 right now.
Oh, this is perfect. I ask this question a lot, and I feel like you're going to be able to answer it better. So if a 16-year-old young lady says, hey, I see you go to work on holidays, I see you work on Christmas, I see you work on Valentine's Day, why do you do it, and why should I consider being a CNA in long-term care, what would you tell him?
That is actually a fairly easy question for me, because it's her normal. But she sees what I see when I go in for those Christmas holidays and those Thanksgivings, that some people have gone through their life and have lost a lot in their lives and don't have other family members to celebrate those days. Just because you're older doesn't mean that those aren't important to you. And she knows that I want to be there for those other people, as does she. She'll come in often with me and sit with the residents that, can't be around. So that's what's important to her. It's a normal way of life. Long-term care and caring about other people is a 7-day, 24-hour thing. We shouldn't just be just on holiday, just during the week and not include holidays. It's all about compassion and love and culture.
Jennifer, your passion, your energy, your happiness is contagious. I feel very honored to have met you here. I know Florida Healthcare Association as well. And hopefully I'll meet you back here next year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.